It's 2:07 in the morning. The room is quiet. Your phone is face down. Everyone else seems to have shut the day off, but you're still lying there, wide awake. And out of nowhere, your mind pulls up one tiny moment from earlier. A sentence you said, the way someone looked at you, a pause that maybe meant nothing. Then the questions start. Did I sound weird? Should I have said it differently? Did they take it the wrong way? You try to let it go. You turn over. You close your eyes. But your mind keeps running, like something inside you missed the signal to stop. And eventually, you wonder, why can't my brain just be quiet? Because from the outside, most of this is invisible. People just see someone calm, someone quiet, someone who seems thoughtful, maybe a little reserved. But inside, it feels completely different. Your mind is going back through conversations, checking small details, weighing choices, imagining things that haven't even happened yet. And that's where the confusion starts. After a while, you begin to wonder if you're the problem. Maybe you think too much. Maybe you make simple things harder than they need to be. Maybe you should be more like everyone else, quicker, lighter, less affected, because the world seems to move that way. People decide fast, reply fast, move on fast. But your mind doesn't work like that. It wants to understand. It wants to review. It wants to feel sure before it can rest. And here's the interesting part. There is a very real reason some people can't just switch their thoughts off. It isn't because you have no self-control. It isn't because you're weak. And it doesn't mean something is wrong with you. It has more to do with the way your brain is trying to make sense of things. Because once you understand what is actually happening underneath, a lot of your life starts to feel less random. Overthinking is not just thinking too much. It is your mind processing the world in a different way. And this is where the first mechanism shows up. In psychology, it is often called deep processing. That sounds complicated, but it is actually pretty simple. Picture two cameras. One takes a quick snapshot of a room, then moves on. The other stays there for a moment. It adjusts the lens. It notices the lighting, the corners, the things most people would miss. If you overthink, your mind often works more like that second camera. It does not just record what happened, it studies it. The tone in someone's voice, the small pause before they answered, the word they used, and maybe even the word they avoided. So while other people may only catch the surface of a moment, your brain is trying to read the whole hidden background behind it. And this creates one strange effect. For you, an experience does not always end when it is over. It keeps moving inside your mind. But that is not the whole story. Because your mind is not only looking backward, it is also trying to look ahead. There is another system at work, almost like a small testing room inside your head. Before anything happens, your brain starts running possibilities. What if I say this? What if they answer that way? What if the mood changes? What if I make it awkward without meaning to? So your mind rehearses, it measures, it tries out different versions of the future before you ever get there. From the outside, it may look like you are just overthinking again. But inside, your brain is trying to do something very specific. It is trying to lower uncertainty, to prepare you, to protect you from being caught off guard. And this is where the problem begins. That system in your brain does not come with a clean off switch. So when there is no future moment to prepare for, your attention turns backward, and your mind starts replaying what already happened. In psychology, this is often called rumination. But the idea is simple. It is like your brain keeps rewinding the same scene, hoping it will finally make sense. The conversation, the choice you made, the awkward second you cannot stop remembering. Your brain thinks, if I look at it one more time, maybe I will find the missing piece. Maybe there was a clue. Maybe there was a better answer. But here is the part people rarely say out loud. Not every story can be closed perfectly. Sometimes there is no complete explanation. Sometimes there is no final answer. So the thought comes back, and back, and back. And there is another piece to this. Because people who overthink often have a very sensitive radar for social mismatch. Think of a smoke detector. In some homes, it only goes off when the room is full of smoke. In others, the smallest hint is enough. Some minds work like that with people. You notice a look that lasts half a second too long, a gesture that feels different, a voice that sounds slightly colder than usual, a message that seems normal but somehow not quite. And suddenly, your brain wakes up. Something does not fit. So it starts trying to fix the gap. What did they mean by that? Are they upset? Did I say something wrong? And this is why you do not just analyze events. You analyze relationships. You analyze timing, distance, mood, intention. You try to understand not only what was said, but everything that was left unsaid. And there is something even deeper happening here, because a mind like this usually comes with a very strong inner awareness. You do not just think about what happened. You also feel what is happening inside you. Your emotions, your reactions, the little contradictions you try to hide from everyone else. It is almost like the volume of your inner world is turned up higher. Other people might move past a feeling without paying much attention to it. But you notice it. You sit with it. You question it. You try to understand why it showed up in the first place. And that can be a powerful thing. It can make you thoughtful, honest, deeply aware. But it can also be tiring, because when your inner world is loud, a quiet room does not always feel peaceful. Sometimes, especially at night, silence just gives your mind more space to keep going. And this is where something gets misunderstood. People hear all of this and say things like, "You need to stop thinking so much. Just relax. Let it go," as if the thinking itself is the problem. But that is not really what is happening. Your mind is not broken because it notices more. It may simply be processing more at once, more tone, more detail, more possible meanings, more emotional signals than other people even register. So the kinder question is not, why can't you stop thinking? It is, what is your brain trying so hard to understand? And this is the real turn in the story. People who overthink do not have a thinking problem. They often have a mind that is trying to understand life more deeply than most people do. That is why some moments take longer to close. That is why certain questions stay with you after everyone else has moved on. That is why one small experience can feel so intense inside you. Not because something is wrong with you, but because your brain is trying to make things connect, trying to find the pattern, trying to understand what it meant, trying to make sense of a world that does not always explain itself. And when you see it this way, the night feels a little different. That engine in your head is not just a flaw you need to silence. The questions are not proof that you are failing. They are part of how your mind moves through the world, how you test reality, how you read people, How you notice what others pass over. Maybe your mind never learned to fully shut off because it was always trying to understand more than the moment gave you. Not broken, just searching a little deeper than most. And if this feels a little too familiar, it probably is not random. There is a real psychology behind minds that notice more, read deeper, and feel the world a little more intensely. That is what we keep exploring here, because sometimes the thing you thought was a problem was never really a flaw. It was just a different way of seeing reality.